Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over fitness and nutrition tips and tricks to start your fitness journey. So this is something that was highly requested on my Instagram. I did a poll seeing what YouTube videos you would be interested in me doing, and this and the What I Eat in a Day video were pretty much tied to each other. So I decided to just put both of these videos out. So this one today is going to be focused on 10 different fitness tips and tricks that I think are key to starting your fitness journey. Alright, so tip number 1 is to get outside of your comfort zone. I think this is the biggest thing that I can stress to people. If you are currently working out but you are doing the same routine over and over again, your body gets used to that routine. Your muscles get used to the exercises. They develop and change based off of the exercises that you are doing. So you need to constantly be challenging your body and challenging your muscles. That way you are able to mix it up every once in a while. The only way you're going to ever be able to see results is if you step outside of that comfort zone. Even though you love going on the treadmill as your source of cardio, if you switched it up to the Stairmaster or the elliptical, I guarantee you would feel something different. You would burn a different amount of calories. You are going to notice if you are doing the same type of equipment often, you're going to kind of plateau in the amount of calories you're able to burn, and also just how you feel during it. You're not going to be as tired afterwards because your body is so used to it. So tip number 1, get outside your comfort zone, try new things, try new exercises, because that will lead to bigger success in the long run. Tip number 2 is just to start. There is always going to be an excuse. There is always going to be a reason why today is just not the day to get started. Whether you have something going on this weekend and you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to keep with my routine, or whether you feel like you're going to splurge this weekend, or, oh, I can't do that, I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks. There is always going to be an excuse. Just start. Starting the process, even if it is imperfect in the beginning, and even if there is flaws and there are days where you don't get to the gym or you don't have good days, just start your journey. It is so much easier to just start and then fail and restart again than just keep telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. You will never start. Push yourself to just start your journey. So pick a day and say, that's the day I'm going to start, and stick to it. Tip number 3 is to make fitness and health a part of your everyday routine. This is something that I absolutely swear by. This is something that has really helped me in my personal journey. I have a genuinely scheduled time into my day to go to the gym when I am super busy. So whether that is first thing in the morning, I know the first thing I'm doing is waking up and getting a workout in. I also plan what I'm going to eat for the day. So lunches and dinners, I plan out what I'm going to eat that day. When I make it a part of my routine, I feel you are more inclined and you're more likely to stick with it. When it's just something that you're like, if I get to it, I get to it, I don't think you have as much accountability about it. So if you make it a part of your routine, it's something you need to check off to get your day accomplished. So making it a part of your routine is great. Another thing with making it a part of your routine is that for me personally, I work certain muscle groups on certain days of the week. So even if I'm just not feeling it one Monday morning, it just was not a good day, I know if I don't get to the gym that Monday, I'm not working my chest that day. And then everything is going to be so thrown off for the week. So part of making it a routine and keeping a schedule about when you're going to work out is that aspect of that accountability, because you know if you don't get to the gym, a muscle group is going to be lacking. Could I just include it in my Tuesday lift? Of course. However, in my mind, it's that extra push to get me to the gym at the end of the day. Tip number 4 is to drink lots of water. I know this is probably so basic, and I know you're probably so tired of people telling you to drink water, but I cannot stress this enough. There are so many benefits to drinking water. 1, a lot of times you think that you're hungry and you're actually just thirsty. So by drinking water, it may kind of curb that hunger sensation that you're feeling. So by drinking extra water, or even throwing some lemon in that water, so maybe it has a little bit of an extra zing to it, then that may be something to help curb that hunger sensation that you're feeling. Also, a lot of us are putting in a lot of extra calories, a lot of extra sugars into our body that we're not realizing we're putting into our body. By drinking things like soda and iced tea, we're putting in so many extra things into our body that we're not thinking about at the time. Even though they're beverages, they still need to be thought of as calories and sugars and fats, things like that. They all play a part in that. So by cutting out just soda, if your first step in your fitness and health journey is simply cutting out soda, I promise you will notice a difference. So by swapping out some of those drinks you love with water, you will already be one step in the right direction. I'm not saying never have iced tea, never have soda again in your life. Of course, all things in moderation. Of course, you're going to need that every once in a while. But if you really minimize the amount that you're taking those things in, you will see a huge difference in the way you feel and the way that your body responds when you are exercising in the future. Tip number 5 is to find a form of cardio that you like and to do it. Cardio is one of the biggest reasons that people do not start their fitness and health journey. People hate cardio. They hate running. They think that the only way that they can do cardio is by running on the elliptical and going for a walk outside. And some people hate the thought of even doing that, which is understandable. So what I recommend to you, even though I did recommend earlier to mix things up, you do need to start somewhere. So find something that you like. When no other form of cardio is fitting it for me that day, I can always head to the Stairmaster. I know on the Stairmaster I can work for even a minimum of 20 minutes and get a sweat on, and you feel so good afterwards. So find something that you feel good after you work on it at, and I promise you that's going to help you. We are not training here to be an Olympic athlete. We're not training here to run marathons. If you are, good for you. However, I am not training to be an Olympic athlete. This is my lifestyle. So I just find a form of cardio that I'm in the mood for that particular day, and that's what I go with. So find something that works for you and make sure you do it. Even if it's for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, start by running 1 mile and work your way up. You have to start somewhere. With that being said, tip number 6 is to make sure you get resistance training in. So for those of you who don't know, resistance training is what most people would consider lifting weights. Everyone, especially females, unfortunately, want to look toned. By looking toned, all you are doing is defining the muscles you have on your body. The only way that you're going to be able to truly define those muscles and to get toned is by lifting weights. Lifting weights is so good for you. It is really helpful in your metabolism as well, because muscles burn more calories than fat. So if you have a lot of muscles and defined muscles on your body, you're actually going to be burning more calories than if you have more fat on your body. So doing resistance training is so important. I understand that resistance training is very intimidating for a lot of people. People get into a gym and they don't know what to do. They see all the weights and they are at a loss. So I think it's really important to find inspiration through other people and kind of take what they're doing and model it to what works for you. Tip number 7, and I cannot stress this one enough, is if you need a rest day, take a rest day. So many people, including myself sometimes, put so much pressure on themselves to exercise every single day. Fitness is a lifestyle, and there is going to be some days where, one, there's other things going on. I know it might be hard to believe, but there are other things that are important in life besides this lifestyle. So if something comes up and if you're unable to work out, if you're genuinely not mentally in it that day, you can take a rest day. Know that you are allowed to listen to your body and do what is best for you. So if that means skipping a day at the gym or going out and eating junk food because that is what you need that day, that is okay. If you deprive yourself of those things and you force yourself to go to the gym, even when that's the last place that you want to be, I promise you, you will see negative results from that. You are going to end up binging when you want to eat. You will hate going to the gym, and that is not the type of lifestyle that we want to live. By allowing yourself to take a rest day when it is necessary, I promise you, you're going to have a better feeling when you go in that next day and crush your workout. Tip number 8 is to stop weighing yourself. This is the biggest thing that I can stress to you. The scale and what that number says on the scale means absolutely nothing. It does not matter what that number says. I can guarantee you, if I told you how much I weighed, you would not believe it. And I can promise you that that number means nothing to me. One, I cannot even tell you the last time I have weighed myself. That number does not matter to me anymore. What matters to me is how I look, how I feel, and that's all that matters. I do not care what that number says. The number on the scale is so much more than just that. it doesn't take into consideration all of the muscle you have. And that is a huge thing. Muscle weighs more than fat. It can mess with your brain so much if you become so consumed to a number on the scale. So what I can stress to you is to stop looking at it, to start taking progress pictures. That's something that I have started working on doing. If you take pictures in the mirror when you first start your fitness journey, and then you look back 2-3 months later and you take another picture, whether it's in the same outfit or in a different outfit, and you do it in the same mirror, you will see more results from doing that than by weighing yourself every single day. Weighing yourself can be such a negative way at looking at yourself. If one day you go up on the scale or one day you drop 2 pounds, it messes with your brain. So what I can stress to you is do not look at the scale anymore. Please just focus on how you look and how you feel, and if you're happy with that, then who cares what that number says. Tip number 9 is that if food is something that you struggle with, and leading a healthy lifestyle in terms of nutrition is something that you really struggle with, to write everything that you eat out. This goes back to our accountability thing that we were talking about a little bit ago. Writing everything out makes you accountable. It is harder to write down that I had 5 chocolate chip cookies than just 1. So when you're writing everything out that you're putting into your body, you're likely to be taking in less calories and less food in that aspect. When you're thinking about every single thing that you're putting in your body because you have to write it down or put it in on an app, it makes you more conscious of what you're doing. If this is something that you're interested in, I do strongly recommend an app. That app is called MyFitnessPal. I am not sponsored by it by any means. It's just something that I have used in the past when I have been tracking what I've been eating, and I feel like this is a really good app to use. You can scan barcodes if you are eating foods that have barcodes on them, and everything can be pretty much matched in there. It saves it in there, and that way when you eat that food the next time, it pops right up right away. So I think it's a good way to track your food if that is something that you wanted to do. And finally, it is time for tip number 10. Our last tip is probably the most important tip of what I'm going to share with you, and that is to simply be patient. This journey is not going to happen overnight. There will be times where you feel like you go forward 2 steps and go back 5 steps. What I would like to stress to you is that this is a journey. It is truly that. There will be good days and bad days. Consistency in this aspect is key. Pushing yourself every day in some aspect. Maybe you didn't get a workout in that day, but you ate some awesome, really healthy food. That's still an accomplishment. You're not going to see results overnight. Set realistic goals to yourself. If you're telling yourself you're going to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, that's just not going to happen. You need to tell yourself realistic goals, and that way you can try your hardest to achieve those goals. You need to be patient with the process. This is a lifelong process. So thinking that something's going to happen overnight is impossible. So what I can stress to you is that changes will be made if you are consistent with it. Just be patient, be kind to yourself, and be forgiving, because you will have failures, you will have setbacks. What's important is to keep pushing forward. I know that all these tips may seem super common sense and super easy, but I think this is a really good reminder of those basics. You are going to get so frustrated with yourself and frustrated with the process. So I think it is good to remember the basics. Remember these simple tips and tricks to get yourself started, because there will be times where you want to just give up and you want to just stop, and you're like, well, I'm not seeing results. This is stupid. Let's just quit. And so you need to remind yourself of why you started and who you're doing this for. And you need to be doing it for yourself. You need to be focused on yourself this entire process. Who cares what other people say? If you need to put on an outfit that makes you feel great to get you to the gym, put on that outfit. If people stare at you, that's on them. Focus on yourself and what you need to do to be successful. These simple tips have helped me so much in my process, and I always look back on these tips and think, if I'm having a bad day, okay, this is what I can do to help myself out. Or if I am losing motivation, this is what I can do to refocus myself. So I think it's so important to remember why you started and what you're doing it for. And as long as you can answer those questions, I think these tips will always help you and be there to guide you. And that about wraps up our video today. If you liked this video, make sure you go ahead and give my video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video that I post. Make sure you check me out on my Instagram so you can see all the other fitness fitness and health content that I post. Please let me know in the comments down below of anything else that you would want to see in the future, and I will see you guys next time.